Hey everybody, welcome to JuanMD. I'm Juan, I'm an MD, and on JuanMD I talk all about my life as a doctor, doing doctor stuff, studying, taking care of patients, and making the most of my Juan life to live. Today is actually a special day for me. It's my birthday. How old do you think I am? Why don't you hazard a guess in the comment section down below? I thought that since today is my birthday and I just finished a huge hurdle in my life as a medical student, I want to talk about a very special topic. I put up a vote on my Twitter account and majority of the results said I should make a video on my reasons for becoming a doctor. Though, admittedly, the sample size is a bit small, so the results of this poll probably aren't representative of the entire population. Heads up, what I will be talking about in this video is just for educational and inspirational purposes. It's based on my own experience as well as a few secondary resources. It's not meant to diagnose anyone. So if you have any symptoms, I urge you to set an appointment with your own doctor. In this video, I'm going to talk about why I became a doctor. I remember it like it was yesterday. When I was a kid, my parents noticed that my left eye was not moving with the rest of my gaze. My coordination was off and I turned my head sideways when I would watch TV or read a book. I was taken to an eye doctor who saw that there was nothing wrong with my vision. I was eventually told to have an MRI, magnetic resonance imaging, through which doctors saw that I had a tumor on the back of my head, which was causing these symptoms. The treatment for this was surgery. I was taken to Johns Hopkins Children's Center in Baltimore, Maryland, where I had a craniotomy, care of pediatric neurosurgeon Dr. Benjamin Carson. That's me, and that's him. Now, Dr. Carson is currently retired as a doctor, but he's working for the US government. While he was still practicing, he specialized in doing surgeries to separate twins who were conjoined at the skull. There are several videos about him and his accomplishments. He was very kind to my family and I, very encouraging with his words, and even prayed with us at times for my recovery. I had 2 surgeries. After my second surgery, an analysis of the tumor showed that it was a chordoma, which is a kind of rare malignant tumor. Where does a chordoma come from? It all begins with a notochord, which is a special tube that's formed when the baby is barely 4 weeks old in the womb. This is derived from the mesoderm, or the middle layer of embryonic tissue. This lies just in front of the neural tube, which folds along the dorsum of the baby's body. The notochord tells all the other parts of the body where to go eventually to form the mature body parts. Now the notochord eventually turns into these little discs between the bones of the spine, which we call nucleus pulposa. But sometimes this finds itself going somewhere it's not supposed to be, turning into a tumor called a chordoma. The chordoma is a malignant spinal mass that occurs in 1 out of every million patients. It can occur anywhere along the spine, but it often ends up at the polar ends, either at the sacral end or the tailbone, or at the clivus, the skull base. Though these are often slow-growing, these are aggressive, malignant, and can metastasize to other organs of the body, such as the lungs. These usually occur in patients between 50 and 60 years old, but these are also noted to occur in young adults and in children. A chordoma in the sacrum may manifest with numbness, pain, paralysis, paresthesia, and body problems, while in the skull it can cause headaches, dizziness, doubling of vision, and dysphagia. I know from experience that all these symptoms are true. I have some links in the description if you want to read more about chordomas yourself. But remember, this video is not a diagnosis, so if you have any symptoms, I encourage you to go check with your own doctor. Are you liking this video so far? If you like it, why don't you like it? Because I'd really like it if you liked it and you liked it. While being prepped for surgery, I stayed with my relatives in Virginia. They shared the Bible with me and introduced me to some cassette tapes by Pastor Willie George. He's a preacher based in Oklahoma. Through these tapes, I learned about Jesus and I accepted his salvation in my life. My relatives told me again and again that God had a reason for everything that was happening to me, even if we did not know this at the time. Chordomas are usually treated using proton beam radiation therapy, and that's why I was referred to radio-oncologist Dr. Norbert Liebsch. That's me again, and that's him. He was based in Massachusetts General Hospital in Boston. I love Boston. Dr. Liebsch is now retired, but he used to take care of many pediatric chordoma patients. He also has several articles published on chordomas and other skull-based tumors. He's a gentleman with great communication and patient rapport, and he was very kind to me and my mom while she accompanied me to Boston. He even took it upon himself and the rest of his team to help us find support for my treatment. Now, proton beam radiation therapy is tough, especially for a child. It's a series of sessions where you have to sit perfectly still in a chair while an invisible laser targets the tumor inside your head from a multitude of angles in order to fry the tumor. For a hyperactive, fidgety child like myself, that's a very challenging thing to go through, and I can only imagine the turmoil that my mom was feeling. But thankfully, after the whole thing was done, there was no noted recurrence of the tumor on subsequent imaging. And for more than 20 years now, I haven't had any tumor recurrence. There are so many kids out there who struggle with disease, and their families struggle with them as well. Until today, I cannot answer completely why I was given this privilege of life. However, I believe that God called me to share his gift of hope with other people too, the same way that I received it when I myself was a child and a patient. To inspire people, patients, and peers, no matter where they are, to make the most out of life and to live life to the fullest. I'm not perfect, and I've had so many twists and turns from then until now. And there are so many internal battles that I still have to face from day to day. However, whenever I look back to the blessing of life and of hope that God gave me, I'm encouraged to press on and fulfill what God wants me to do with my life. In a nutshell, this is why I chose to become a doctor. So that's my story, guys. What do you think? Do you want to find out more about what happened to me between my treatment and my deciding to go to medical school? Please let me know in the comments below. Also, like this video and share it with someone who you think would also like to see this video. For the time being, click on subscribe and hit the bell so that you can stay tuned for future videos. In the next video, I think I'm going to talk more about my experience with the PLE, or the Philippine Physician Licensure Examination. And before we end, this year I wanted to celebrate the completion of my medical degree through a fundraiser in support of the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation. This pandemic has made an enormous impact on the practice of pediatric surgery. The number of surgeries being done has been kept at a minimum in order to preserve PPE for managing COVID patients. But in Indonesia, for example, there's been a 60% decrease in all elective surgeries and a 30% decrease in all emergency surgeries. The numbers may be better or worse in other countries, but either way, cancer surgery has definitely been impacted due to the scarcity of resources. Surgery is a very crucial specialty because through masterful surgical practices, many lives have been saved from life-threatening diseases. This is especially true for pediatric patients. Addressing the symptoms is not always the most urgent concern. However, every single day still counts when it comes to growth, development, and long-term well-being of a child, no matter how simple the symptom may seem. The Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation is dedicated to children with brain tumors, and its mission is simple yet powerful: to provide care for families, to fund research to cure childhood brain tumors, and to help patients and families to thrive. Your support will help them to press on with their mission. Finally, here's the word of the day. Until next time, this has been Juan. Remember, to always live your life to the fullest because you only have one life to live.